let's bring the arch Brexiteer who thinks he's smart on as well. Stay with me, David. You're still on the air. Darren.
Hiya, James. How are you?
Very good, Darren, but nowhere near as confused as you.
I'm certainly not confused.
Of course you are, Darren. Look
Very
at your
clear-headed.
And you
Well,
just
I'm very
button it.
clear-headed. I mean, we had the vote, and unfortunately the Remainers can't believe that they lost the vote by the popular majority.
Popular majority, my foot. Why did you vote to leave the European Union?
Because I feel that this country will be much stronger and much better supported by making their old mind up.
Really? And when
Yes.
what? Give me one thing that you think would stop breathing so heavily. I can understand that
I
you're
think that's the
excited
Remainer,
talking to me.
the
I don't think
Remainer
so.
doing that. Yeah.
David wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that, David, would you?
When our pound crashes down to next to nothing because the rest of the world thinks we're stupid, we're going to be so much better off. Some people talk like schmucks.
You're doing Britain down. I mean, lucky the Victorians didn't think like that, is it? When Britain was great.
Shut up, Ash.
No, but I mean, it's true. Everyone's doing the 1 hour against.
Like I said on the text, do you really think that all the manufacturers in Europe are going to let their governments impose tariffs for our goods to be sold to them? Because all we will do, like Trump, is impose tariffs for them. So BMW
so
will
the
not sell
whole world is going to get stupid.
No, it won't. That's the thing, because they won't do it and we won't do it.
If you seriously think, Darren, everything will be just as good when we leave the European Union, if not better than before.
And then, as you,
you're wrong, mate.
You say,
you're wrong.
Within 5 or 10 years, then the EU won't exist, because people like Italy and Germany, they don't want to be restricted like that anymore. And when they see us, when you guys eventually get behind your country and back the vote,
it's got nothing to do. Don't you start? Don't you dare!
Very good point.
Don't you dare start saying I don't support this country. I couldn't. It won't affect me
so
one jot.
So doom and gloom,
but
James.
I think.
So doom and gloom.
Well, if you listen, you will learn. Because
but
voting
you don't know what's going to happen, do you? Do you know what's going to happen? Are we going to be worse off? Can you guarantee that? No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
You might think you've
yes,
got the
I can. And listen to me.
Because you don't know that.
Give your voice a rest and listen to the voice of reason.
Really?
Yes.
Really.
Because if you think
so
for 1 minute,
now, then? Because there's no voice of reason from you.
This country is going to be better off leaving its nearest trading partners, which we have been with for the last 40 years. You must need your bumps reading.
Who says we're not going to trade with them?
You just don't seem to understand. You just seem to have closed your mind to the whole...
No, that's the problem with the Remainers. They've closed their mind. They think the only way forward is to be governed by Germany, by Europe.
Oh, for
we don't
need
that anymore.
I can't speak to somebody like you because you are so old-fashioned and you are so behind the curve.
You lost the vote.
I'm not losing the argument.
You're losing the argument.
And I haven't lost the argument.
And I just wish that the minority Remainers would get behind this country so we can all move forward.
I wish people like you wouldn't carry on and try and ruin this country and kick it right into the mud and then stomp on it so that this country becomes completely ineffectual in the rest of the world, because that is what you're doing.
Europe was stomping us into the mud. Yeah. Europe, we couldn't even make our own rules up.
We used to be fantastic.
James, come on. See sense, please.
Do you know what really aggravates me is that people like you seem to know so little about how things go on in Europe. David, it's over to you. You have a go.
It's folly to be wise. Where ignorance is bliss, 'tis folly to be wise. Sometimes if a wise man talks to a fool, he will become an idiot. And in this case, this is what's happening.
Which one's which?
Yeah, another intelligent Remainer. Again, you're always putting the Brexiteers down as being unintelligent.
You never heard of the word
you will in 10 years' time. That gentleman who texted in said, in 10 years' time, you guys won't dare say that you voted Remain, because you'll be riding on our coattails.
How many years? 500 years before things get better? Who are you talking to? You must be mad.
Oh, dear me. Dear me.
We're living in a strange
all this doom and gloom about Brexit.
A parallel universe.
To create unemployment. I think our unemployment is its lowest level now. Is that correct?
It's at its lowest level because the country is coming out of recession. But unfortunately, a lot of the jobs are very poorly paid, and a lot of people have not had a pay rise for a long time. And so we are coming out of recession, but unfortunately, it is not helping us as much as it could do.
Everyone's got poor under the EU.
If we'd have voted Remain, it would have been even better.
You're just absolutely barking mad. Give me one thing. Give me one thing that you think is going to be better. One thing we can't do now because we're members of the European.
Rules.
Which rule?
We can stop.
Which rule?
Stupid things.
Which rule?
Stop stupid things.
Yeah, give me one.
Like prisoners taking them to court and getting compensation.
Well, prisoners will be able to do that within our law and have always been able to do that.
We can govern ourselves. We can make our own rules.
Yeah, what rules do you want to
won't be telling us. EU won't be telling us.
You're just xenophobic, mate. Your problem is you're just xenophobic. You're frightened of people from other countries, aren't you? You don't think this country is big enough and strong enough to stand up to other people. We are probably the best country in the world. What are you frightened of? You're frightened of other people, foreigners. You're frightened of anybody from outside this country. Admit it. You're frightened.
Is that why I want us to stand up against the rest of the world and be proud? But an individual country.
Why,
I
do you
don't
think
want to be Team Europe where Germany decides what we do. Do you get paid by the German government or something? Because you really are promoting the EU when you're clearly on a loser. We're going out of Europe. There will be no second vote, sir. Get used to it and move on.
Darren, it won't affect me one jot. But it might affect my children and my grandchildren, and that is why I am concerned about.
My very honest comment.
You wouldn't know honest if it slapped you in the mush, mate.
I would rather be worse off and out of Europe. Because we would be proud to be Britain.
That says
that won't happen, James.
It's not all about money, is it? Yeah, it's vulgar.
That says it all. Goodbye, Darren.
A man of standards.
Goodbye, David. What a... You know, this is the standard. I don't really care how the... golly. Right at the end, we hear what a Brexiteer is really like. I don't really care whether we're worse off as long as we're out of Europe. I have never heard so much stupidity in my entire life.
But he meant economically, didn't he? He meant, we might be worse off economically.
You didn't even bother to vote,
the whole
so I don't know
fear
why
is all about money,
It's nothing to do with
we're going to be worse off
fear.
with money and all. That's not even going to happen anyway because the business
I'll tell you what's going to happen.
Business.
I'll tell you what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what's going to happen. We'll pretend we've left the European Union and we will have only left it in name. Probably we'll be carrying on.
Chequers deal.
This is so stupid. Do you know, we didn't need to waste all this money. We didn't need to waste all this time. And people who thought we're run by Germany just have no idea what they're talking about. I just...
Well, luckily we didn't join the euro. I mean, those countries that joined the euro, they're being told what to do by Germany, aren't they? Look at Greece. You got to do this. You got to do that. It's always Merkel when it's the EU. It's not the EU. It's Merkel. And then the French
why
guy.
don't you go and work on the breakfast show with Julia Hartley?
No, I'm not saying I'm a Brexiter.
Yes, you
I'm
are.
neither Remain nor Brexiter.
No, of course not.